Good morning. My name is Mary Lanier. I'm the owner of Community and Housing Development Director. And I'd like to call the meeting of the Development and Environmental AD Committee to order at 11:01 a.m. 10:01 a.m. Can we get a roll call vote?
Mary Lanier,
Present.
Sam Marin,
Here.
Nina Bashar,
Here.
Ryan Castillo,
Here.
Robert Sepulveda,
Here.
Robert Lindbergh,
Here.
Robert Castro,
Here.
Curtis Markloff.
Here.
And we do have translation available. Announce that to them.
You don't need to speak it here or?
There's
Just-
one.
Buenos días a todos. Tenemos la interpretación disponible si en caso hay alguna persona que quiera hacer algún comentario público en español el día de hoy. Ok, muchas gracias.
So we're going to order the meeting. Let's do the pledge for allegiance. Writing again.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I did roll call out of order. So just for members of the community and the applicants are here, for public comments for items listed and not listed on the agenda. A 3-minute limitation shall apply to each member of the public who wishes to address the Development and Environmental Review Committee on any item on the agenda, excluding public hearings. There is no limit to the number of items that may be discussed within the 3-minute time limit. To be called on by the chairperson, please turn in an individual speaker slip. This right here over on the side. And please turn those in to Jennifer Meamber, who's sitting on the end. If you wish, you may email your speaking request to cedpubliccomments@sbcity.org by 5 p.m. the day before the meeting. Email request to speak will not be accepted from anyone but the person requesting to speak. And then for public hearing items, after the presentation, the public hearing item, if someone would like to speak, I'll open the public hearing and then offer members of the community and the applicant to address the committee. We'll start with the approval of the draft minutes, and this is for the regular meeting of October 25th, 2023. Do we have any corrections to the minutes?
Not that I'm aware of.
Do we have any questions on the minutes, comments? If not, can I get a motion to approve the minutes? Motion.
Second.
All in favor? You normally just do this unanimously, or, okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. And it passes. Minutes are approved. Okay, we'll start with our first public hearing. It's development permit type D 23-06. It's a request to allow for the development and establishment of a truck and trailer parking and dispatch facility on a property comprised of 2.6 acres located at the northwest corner of East Harry Shepherd Boulevard and South Del Rosa Avenue within the Alliance California Specific Plan. And I'd like to call on project manager Michael Rosales to present the item.
Yes, thank you, Chair. So today it's a request for the development and establishment of a truck and trailer parking and dispatch facility, which is ancillary to the existing warehouse distribution facilities within the immediate area. It's located at, as you said, the northwest corner of East Harry Shepherd Boulevard and South Del Rosa Avenue within the Alliance California Specific Plan. We are looking at it as categorically exempt pursuant to section 15332 for infill development projects of CEQA and also 15061B and 3 review for exemption of the CEQA state guidelines. Here is the site plan for the project. I would like to point out here in this slide It shows all the the distribution and warehouse facilities that would be serviced by lot 6, which is here. So I'd like to point out that this is just parking for all the distribution and warehouse facilities that are already within the Alliance specific California specific plan. And that sums it up for what I had to just add to the report. Any questions?
Okay, so at this time, we'll open the public hearing. I did want to note that the recommendation was for staff recommends that the Development and Environmental Review Committee adopt resolution number 2023-36 approving development permit type D2306 based on the findings of fact and subject to the recommended conditions of approval and finding the project is subject to a categorical exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act. So now that the public hearing is open, I'll invite the applicant to get up and either present any information, if you have any, or if you concur with the staff presentation, the conditions of approval.
Good morning, Jason Huber with Hillwood. I have no further information to add. I just wanted to make myself available as the applicant for any additional questions that staff may have.
Any questions? Thank you. So at this time, any members of the public that are here to speak on this item? Let's see. 2. I don't have any speaker slips for this item. Could you go ahead and come up, but can you fill out a speaker slip?
I emailed a request.
Yeah. You emailed a request in?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
we
okay.
still need the slip filled in, and then you can just hand it to me.
So this is actually-
Yes.
Okay, Ryan Pesters?
Petters, yes.
Petters? Peter, Petters?
Peters, Petters. That's how they pronounce it in Belgium.
Okay, very good.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I suppose with 3 minutes started, I'm going to just say that I'm concerned about the overall development. I know other people are here going to speak on the other specific concerns about traffic. But I live just a couple blocks away, and my concern is not so much this motion here today, but what may happen right where I'm at, because we're technically in San Bernardino, but we're barely sort of into Highland. We're next to the county yard. And if someone's going to make a decision, it would be either you or the Economic Development Agency. And I'm very concerned that our property, which is at 25070 3rd Street, will eventually be taken, if not by your actions, then by others. And I wanted to speak, on that concern. So, just real briefly, me and my mother, when we were looking for a place to live, we were lucky to find where we were at. And where we're at is one of 2 places that's reasonable for us to rent. The other spots are in Riverside, and my mother's a terrible driver, so that's not really an option. So if actions are taken by this group or any other by the city, I can promise you that especially if you uproot
the other 2,500 people in that area beyond. I know that's not your purview, but it's concerning to me, and that's why I wanted to speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pettis. Our next speaker is Maria Diaz.
So was it Ryan or Brian?
Ryan.
Ryan, I'm kind of seconding what Ryan is talking about. This area of San Bernardino, is being developed really quickly to be, commercial heavy and industrial heavy. And there are 2 schools in the area, actually 3 schools. There's a middle school, high school, and an elementary in the area. And then looking at section 15.332, infill development projects, C says that the project has, or sorry, D says approval of the project would not result in any significant effect related to traffic, noise, air quality, or water quality. It definitely does affect air quality, especially if this is a park for like semis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it does affect air quality. And well, I guess I had a question, if I'm good to ask. I haven't been to this committee.
So go ahead and ask the question, and then we'll determine, normally there's not interaction, but I do want to get your question answered if it's in our purview, so please ask.
Okay, so CARB had just recently passed something about not, having idling for these trucks, these locomotives. Will semis be idling in this lot?
We'll check on that, we'll come back. to
Okay,
that.
so I think that the board should really take into consideration the fact that there are communities of people living here. There are children running track, there are children playing soccer, there are children living their lives. And to continue to put more opportunities for air pollution around where they're just trying to live their lives and grow up is, we can do it better and we can do it different. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next speaker is Marvin Norman.
Good morning, my name is Marvin Norman. I'm with the Center for Community Action and Environmental Justice, and I also actually live in San Bernardino, right up this road from this proposed site. It's interesting to see that this is moving forward. I know this area is part of the area that the city and Highland, the airport, was trying to fold all into and kind of rush through with the airport specific plan to kind of make these types of projects easier. And so it's good to see that slowed down. And this project, as others have said, is right next to a school. Some of my neighbors, their kids go to that school, and this just is not the right place for us. You know, with the school right there, we want to work on making sure that the kids aren't exposed to just trucks all day long and the traffic concerns that come with that in terms of drop off and the safety, as well as the issue with the just especially these trailer areas. There's one thing, is just noise. I used to also be a substitute teacher, and one of the things that would be concerned with the issue for the young scholars was noise. And I know these trailer yards can also be pretty loud, and just backing up and the trailers hit something or another, and especially when they're empty, they are very loud. And this is really something that we should maybe put it somewhere else on the airport property, like the other side by the existing warehouses, instead of right next to the schools. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I do have a few questions. Does the committee have any questions of staff?
There's another speaker.
Oh, there's another
Yeah.
speaker? Where's this Matt? Matt Inkpark?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was for.
Okay. Inkpark? Is that you? Oh, please come up. My apologies.
Morning, committee members. My name is Dan Harp, and I'm here representing the Public Safety Academy of San Bernardino, which is a school that's located nearby this proposed development. And my connection with the school is I'm on the board of directors for the school, so I'm speaking on behalf. And just up front, we oppose approval of this development, and I'll spend the next 3 minutes or so explaining why we oppose it. Just very briefly, PSA, Public Safety Academy. We are a public school, we're a charter school, publicly taxpayer-funded school. Been at this location for 17 years. We are accredited by the WASC. Just to reinforce, we're in our private school. We do not have school boundaries. The community is our boundaries as a charter school. Grades 6 through 12, which is the middle and high school accommodation. Approximately 400 students, 58 faculty and staff, and 8 contract employees. So we have a total of 457 bodies on campus at any one time. My position on the board of directors is we are the governing body of the school. The school is not is lightly under the umbrella of the San Bernardino Unified School District. And as such, they're required to have a board of directors who has oversight. We are appointed, we are not elected, just to make that very clear. And we have some similarities to this community here. We have open monthly meetings regulated under the Brown Act. Our meetings are conducted under Robert's Rule of Orders. And we also are mandated Form 700 filers, which I presume you all are. We filed the Statement of Economic Interest. The facilities, we have 4 parcels, all leased land. 2 other parcels are from the San Manuel Abandoned Mission Indians. We leased the gym from the city of San Bernardino, and we just executed a lease with the San Bernardino Community College District for a couple of acres of vacant land to build an athletic field on. So when you look at the map up there, it's a little deceiving when you bring up that map. It shows proposed warehouses and everything in that area, and we're just a little aberration almost. And my point is, we have a larger footprint in that area than is depicted by a satellite photo. And as such, I think we should be given some credit for a school with a large population base that is there on a Monday through Friday basis. So we've had some other people comment, affecting the schools, and for PSA, one of the big concerns is that unlike traditional schools, we have to market ourselves to attract students. And such being next door to a development such as this is really going to be adverse to us performing or bringing in students. And not only do we have to recruit students, is that 2 minutes?
That was 3 minutes.
That's 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Can I take another 30 seconds?
Just wrap it up.
I'll wrap it up. Okay. So just real quickly, education is important. I understand this development is in full compliance with the Alliance California proposal. I can't really go against that, but I do think it boils down, and this is going to be a decision for board members to make here, is a choice between supporting a school that's had a long educational service for the community, or a dispatch trucking parking facility in the area that's going to be environmentally unsound, ingress and egress issues and such as that. So thank you for extending my time and for hearing me out. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a fast 3 minutes.
Any other speakers on item 2? Elise Dean?
Okay, I'm Elise Dean. I'm an administrator at Public Safety Academy. As Mr. Harp said, we've been on that property for about 17 years. Our charter is to encourage the students of our community into careers in public safety. So military, fire, and police, also the medical field. We have a pathway. This particular project will kind of negatively affect us because we are looking to expand our campus. Our students beginning in January are going to be able to earn their associate's degree with us in conjunction with Crafton Hills Community. And so by having this plan go through, we wouldn't necessarily, it kind of blocks our ability to expand the campus. I believe that we are doing a really good thing for the kids of our community. They come to us and we focus a lot on character. And so I think it would be detrimental to our campus if this were to go through. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I know the applicant didn't have any initial comments. Do you have Matt Engelhard? Who's the applicant?
Yes, it's for item 3.
Okay, is there anyone here for item 2 then?
I think the applicant would like to say something.
Yeah, if you would state your name. And then Jason.
Again, Jason Huber with Hillwood. No real clarifications or rebuttals to any of the comments specific. Obviously, the California specific plan was developed over 20 years ago as a redevelopment of the Norton Air Force Base. This was always the intention. These properties are owned by Hillwood. We're not displacing anybody. There's no real room for future expansion here onto a property that we own. And then to reiterate that point, 20 years ago, the Northgate area was planned for 2.2 million square feet of industrial building. Hillwood has pulled back our development in that area and will ultimately build out 1.6 million square feet based on some of the properties we saw in the previous exhibit. So we're only building out 70% of what we originally planned. So we have reduced the scale, and part of this project in particular is just that. It's a support service to the buildings that are already there and approved to be built. We hear the community loud and clear when we talk about trucks leaving, going to and from, and think that the best concept of that would be to keep it right here in the Northgate parcel. So that's the purpose of this project. I'll reiterate, it's in full conformance with the specific plan and all zoning ordinances. So we ask the committee to approve the project. Thank you.
Hold on, does anyone have any questions for the applicant? I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, on the truck parking, what your proposal is for the truck parking, but the truck parking is to serve the already existing buildings there and the operations where you would have trucks parked at the facility as opposed to driving back and forth to some other truck parking location in the city
That is
every day?
That is the intent. So if you look at the smaller buildings up there on the map, there is no trailer parking. So they're into the docks, either leaving. If they have the need for trailer parking, that doesn't exist on those buildings. So instead of them leaving to a different or separate trailer parking facility, that facility would be here. They would dump the trailer, go back to their facility on that property. That's the intention. We've also been approached by Maddich, who's right there on the intersection of Perry Shepherd and Del Rosa, that he might potentially want to use it because he has scattered facilities to be able to bring his fleet back to where his office building is. So that is the intention. We're getting some support of that from the local businesses. So that is the intention of the lot.
Is the environmental consultant here today?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question for the environmental consultant.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Miles Eaton. I'm with Kimley Horn. I serve as the environmental consultant planner for the project.
Okay, thank you, Miles. I had a question on the air quality analysis that was done. That's air quality analysis was updated to current to evaluate the impacts of this particular truck parking to see if they increase. This would be an increase to the underlying EIR that was done, and that those analysis determined it was consistent. Is that correct?
Correct. And the emissions from the project were shown to be below South Coast Air Quality Management District's thresholds as well.
Okay.
So it is consistent with the previous environmental analyses and with as a standalone.
Are there any restrictions that you know from AQMD on these types of uses, considering there's a charter school there?
Yeah, so the project itself would be required to comply with all the mitigation measures from the previous environmental documents as well. And also the Air Board and South Coast have different anti-idling policies and measures that would be implemented. In terms of proximity to schools, there are additional analyses that happen and they were included as part of the analysis.
And so you did analyze the adjacent schools.
Yes.
And on that. Okay, I think that's all my questions. And I did want to thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I did want to touch on, because the truck parking, I'm going to say this one has become pretty controversial in the city, and I know there's community concerns on it, and we do respect those concerns. And within the city's municipal code, this is the committee that by ordinance does review truck parking. So we are the committee that reviews truck parking, approve or deny it. And so that's what this committee's tasked for. I know the speakers had a couple questions. So when a categorical exemption is done and in this particular case, it's an underlying specific plan. I'm just gonna share some information. We are out of power. Okay, so I'm gonna put the meeting on.
Thanks,
Thank you. We are going to, we're gonna recess the meeting and see what's going on. I know there's a lot of wind out there perhaps, but we don't have a recording, so I don't want to continue the